Hello YouTube and welcome to another series of modded Minecraft. We're here in this new world. I'm currently doing a survival test for a potential mod pack that we might be running on the Airada realm server, where at the moment we've been playing lots of vanilla Minecraft. I uploaded a UHC a few days ago. If you saw that, well done. Didn't quite go to plan for our team, but yeah, so here we are doing a survival test. Now, this series is going to be a bit different to normal, so normally I don't reveal what my goal is until quite at the end, which is something I want to change in the future, but for this particular series I probably won't have a particular goal, because I just want to sort of try out all the things that are available so I know that what's working and what isn't. So if you're wondering why everything's blue at the moment, it's because of the fact that we are in a magical forest from Thaumcraft. So we have Thaumcraft in this pack. Not running the latest version though, because there's a bug with it, where it can't render particles properly or something like that. So I just downgraded that a few minutes ago. But that's just how things are. So a couple things, like I'm pressing a few buttons that I probably don't want to, because this mod pack, I've been working on it a little bit so far, but there's still a few settings that I haven't quite worked out what the best sort of keybinds for things are. And unlike most of my other mod packs, it's pretty small. It's got 53 mods actually in game, which is like maybe 40 or so actual mod files in the folder. So a lot of people on Airada realm don't have like the best computers in the world, so it's like trying to make a mod pack that's good for for everyone to use. It's kind of the idea. So what I'm trying to do is capture a variety of different playstyles in modded, while still giving freedom within that area. And also a lot of people haven't actually played modded before, so one of the things that I did want to capture this mod pack was the idea that modded is one of those things where it's like, you can play it lightweight, of course, but it's never going to be quite as fun, and I don't think it's ever going to be quite as good an introduction to what is possible with it if it's not if it's not like got all these mods that people would normally play with. This tree is going to be the most awkward thing to cut down. I've just realised. It's just like, gosh, it's so annoying. Yeah. Right. Those down. I probably should have got some chocolate rather than don't know what it is. Box into planks. So I'm not really sure what mod I'm going to start with first. I might get some basic technology infrastructure going, but that may just be a quartz grindstone and stuff to get ore doubling early on, probably, I would think. Because I'm not entirely certain how I want to do this, because I know that I have a plan for when I'm actually on the server, starting off, so I don't really want to have too much overlap between this and that. Preferably. Because I want that to feel like a new experience as well, to some degree. So I'll be doing things in hopefully a very different order here than I will be on there. And also there I'll be with some people who haven't actually done this before. So it could be more interesting because of that. So it's sort of like a learning experience for them. That should be pretty fun, hopefully. I do hope they'll enjoy the mod pack as a whole. So we'll see what happens. And that's, of course, assuming that we're even going to run this one. We may go for a more lightweight version in the end, but as someone who's made mod packs before, I felt like this might be a good way to start for people. Let's get some basic crops down, shall we? Just clear an area, just plant some crops. I suppose I'm going to set up my base around this lake, I imagine. Seems like a reasonable place to put it. It's quite a nice area. And I'm probably going to do a fair bit of magic, I would have thought. Because yeah, it's always fun. But anyone who's seen my videos before, you know that whenever I do modded, I do like to mix in a lot of magic and science together, because well, they're both there. Why skip out on one just because, you know, just because it doesn't feel like you should do it. And of course you can unlock more potential in these things by mixing them together. You can get your magic automated using your science, and then all of a sudden you've got some crazy contraption that's just 1,000 times better than either of them could have done alone. It's probably an exaggeration, but you know, it makes it a lot more interesting because you get to like sort of work with mods that probably aren't supposed to be used together, and then sort of see how you can break them in ways that were just never expected. It's really fun to do sometimes. Right. I will have to set myself a bunch of challenges to complete within this pack, which I'm going to do in future episodes, but for these first ones I'm probably just going to be doing my standard startup, as it were. Probably shouldn't have jumped out of that tree. So, don't know if I got all the logs. We'll find out shortly, I'm sure, when I find that none of those are actually dropping. I think the main problem I have with these giant oak trees is the fact that they don't actually have that much wood in them, because you know, it took so long to cut down. I only got 40 wood, which is like nothing compared to like a double spruce or whatever, or mega spruce. Yeah, that takes so much less time to cut down because it's just like build a staircase up and then you're done. Good situation. Now I was flying around earlier in creative mode to like pick a location to start. So I do know that there is an extreme hills around here, so I might be able to bring some spruce back, potentially. So that could be interesting to see. Getting that going. Torches. I probably should build a little shelter, shouldn't I, or just dig a hole in the wall. That's some copper. Nice. So we've got all the different ores from Thermal Foundation. That's the main tech mod I've gone for. Don't want to go for anything like, you know, too unusual. I just went for what people used to. Want to go for like the most commonly used tech mod, probably nowadays. Just because it's a good introduction to how most mod packs would play out, what one they would pick. I'm really stuck mining all night, aren't I? Because there are no sheep anywhere. So this mod pack is very much designed around the idea of introducing people to it without going too underwhelming, but also not too overwhelming. It's kind of the idea. So I don't want it to be too many mods. And I even spent quite a while going through JEI and hiding a bunch of the items that they just don't need to know about, realistically. Because there's a bunch of stuff in there it's just, you don't need to know who's there most of the time. So like things you can't actually get, and variants of certain things. I can't remember all the things I hid, but it was a fairly extensive list. I mean, actually one thing I really want to change is that. Because I know we've gone hard, so that's probably not an issue. Cool. Right. Let's make it a fence gate or something. Cool. Is that all now? Break that. Excellent. Alright, so this is going to be our base of operations for the moment. Pretty basic, as per, for a first night thing. But it may actually go on for longer than that, depending on what I find down here. Because I'm probably gonna, this might be my mine actually, in the future. We'll see what happens. This series is going to be very open-ended, because I really don't have any particular plans other than just to sort of try out everything that there is, to make sure it's all working and feels right. That's the main thing really, is getting the feeling of the modpack right. There's no issues with, like, I don't think there's any particular balance issues at the moment. I've pretty much removed any mods that I would have considered overpowered or whatever, or others have expressed concern about, potentially. So I think modpack's a good place, it's just a matter of getting the feeling right. This stage. One more this way. So, it's definitely an interesting experience. Alright. Oops. Cool. Alright. Got 7 copper on me. What I really need is like some quartz so I can make a grindstone, but I'm not going to be able to do that until the next day. Most likely. Look at that. I would think. Probably is how it's going to end up. Yeah, I never really know, to be honest. So I'm just digging out a big room just to give us some space to work on things. I just had a sheep. Okay. Yeah, I can hear sheep. Alright. We're going to make a bed, hopefully. That's the plan. And it's night time. One of the issues with this kind of like forest thing that I'm in is it can be quite dangerous during the day, because there's a lot of places where mobs can just not keep, like, just continue to live throughout the day. But I'm not actually seeing any mobs at the moment, which is weird. I'm pretty sure they are supposed to spawn in this biome. So, oh yeah, I hear. Oh, hello, friend. Or not friend, I guess. It's not really a friend, is he? It's the most precarious thing here. I've got a bed now, so we can actually sleep through the night and not be ruined by that. Okay, cool. Take the black one if I can. Nice. This is going well so far. I mean, I would like to have found more resources by now. Probably quartz. Just to get the basics. In terms of what mod I probably want to start with first, I might go for Lordcraft, because that is one of the magic mods, and I don't know. I haven't started with a magic mod before, so it could be an interesting one. They're often not designed for the early game starting. But I don't actually know how my one plays out. I think the only downside with it is you need a lot of sand and gravel to make the, or just sand actually, to make the old inscription tiles. Stone axe is actually doing pretty good work so far, which I was not expecting it to. I was kind of expecting it to be a bit worse than it is. It's actually doing a pretty good job doing these mobs. Actually, maybe Lawcraft wouldn't be the best one to start with, because I do need to go to the Nether for that first, and glowstone. So maybe not. But I kind of want to do Thaumcraft, but I also haven't played with this version before, so I have no idea what I'm doing. I guess that could be a learning experience for me. But it's kind of like, hello friend, not test it again. Right. Right. Okay, cool. Can I mine amber? I can't mine out amber this time, it's nice. I might... I'll have to think about it. I'll probably decide by next episode, whenever that is. How long are we doing recording for? 50 minutes. So I might do 20 minutes episodes-ish. So let's make a quartz grindstone quickly. And that'll probably be a good way to end this episode off. So, grab the rest of the sandstone. I might do Thaumcraft, I'm not sure. We'll see. I'll hopefully upload this episode today. So this should be pretty reasonable. Right, so quartz grindstone, I need to get some stone smelted. And I'll just smelt a bit of that, we'll smelt a bit more as well, shall we? Cool. Just do that for now. Get that. So 3 of that. And 2 of that, isn't it? And wood, I think I need. Because I need to make a wooden gear. Or is that using planks? I can't remember. Wood gear, okay, good. And then I think I just do that, that, and then this. Yeah, there's a quartz grindstone. And I take all the sticks. That makes a wooden crank. Nice. Cool. Quartz grindstone. Bam. Crank. Bam. So now I could take this copper ore, put it in there, and I can crank it, and it'll turn it into copper dust. So 1 ore goes into 2 dust, or pulverized copper in this case. So that's helpful. Right, so there we go, we now have a way to double our ores, albeit manually, but it's alright. It's still better than not having one. So yeah, next episode I might look into Thaumcraft. The other thing I'm a little bit concerned about with Thaumcraft is the fact that I had to downgrade from the latest version to this version because of bugs with particles. So that kind of suggests to me that maybe it's not as stable as I thought it was. So I'm a little bit concerned for that reason. So I'll have to look into it a little bit. So there might be a little bit of a gap between this episode and the next one in terms of when I'm recording them. We'll see. So I will see you guys in the next episode. Hope you enjoyed, and see you next time. Goodbye.